Welcome everyone one more time. We are ready to start, and let me introduce our speaker to you, Kristyna Turkova, and the title of our workshop is Difficulties in Implementing Cosmic Education.
Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Kristyna Turkova and I am in Montessori already 20 years. I founded Montessori Campus. It is a school that has 100 students aged from 1.5 to 15 years. I am AMI trained in 0 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 12. Hello to Colombia. And I have the orientation seminar in 12 to 18 because I was always wondering what's next, how to help the children and the students in their level of development. And I'm also a mom of 3 children. We have it nicely spread out. They are 12, 8, and 1 year. So we have all planes of development represented. It's fun, sometimes challenging, but I really love it. So today our topic is the difficulties in implementing cosmic education into 6 to 9, 9 to 12, and 6 to 12 environments. And this presentation will be available to you. So in case I skip something or you will not be able to be so fast and read it when I do not read it. So you don't have to be worried. You can have it. So I will share my screen. So we are really united in the cosmic vision and cosmic plan of Maria Montessori. And I think that we really need to understand what she meant, what we should always go back to when we forget where we are. And Montessori looks at the world, sees the world on a very grand scale that is at the level of the universe with all of its interrelationships. And there is the inorganic world, which is ecologically linked in innumerable ways with the biosphere, which in turn is linked with human beings or the psychosphere. And Montessori looks at the whole of humanity throughout time. She sees human beings as being guided by finality from the time of their appearance. She sees humanity as both adult and child. She sees the individual both in his unity or oneness and in his developmental differences during the diverse stages or seasons of life. We also know that Montessori was speaking about a plan, and it is important to know that perfection is embodied in everything and in everyone. We hear it pretty often those days that we are already perfect, and Montessori believed in this as well. The thing is that we strive for this perfection. We want to be aware of this perfection. And in everything and each of us, there is a pattern of perfection that we are going to. So we want to work for ourselves. We are striving for this perfection. We are striving for self-realization, and we develop. We are trying our best to be the best of ourselves. And doing this, we actually also serve the others. Doing what we really love, what we are passionate about, brings fulfillment to us, and with this, we also serve the others. So the cosmic vision is about order, unity, and beauty of things, living beings, and ideally also about the beauty of human inventions that should bring us closer to the perfection, ease our development, help us have more fun. You heard about the characteristics from Kyla and Karla. They are my trainers because I'm in the training of trainers. I really would love to be the trainer one day. And you heard them speaking about the characteristics. We always need to be aware about the characteristics of the children from 6 to 12 years. Their aim is to be able to think by themselves. And they have also needs. They need to explore. It's a human tendency. We cannot take it away from them. They will explore no matter if we help them or not. But we should know how to help them explore through imagination. And this imagination should be grounded in sensorial experience and reality. So, for example, when the children move somewhere or when they have someone who moved to them, close to them, they have the experience with migration. And they know that it is not easy. Sometimes there are new children coming into the classroom, and if you're in the classroom, you know very well how it always changes the dynamics in the classroom. So they can imagine from their own experience how it maybe was when many people migrated, when whole nations had or wanted to migrate. That it was great that they discovered something new. They brought new ideas, new inventions, but they also had to adapt to where they came to the ground, to the language, to the new people they met. And that it brought many positive things, but also many challenges. And they explored those challenges and how to overcome them. We touched the children's imagination by stories, by many demonstrations, materials, charts, and timelines. And we discuss with the children, and we also let them go outside and explore more than what is in the classroom. And we empower the children that little things make the difference. Children need to organize themselves in groups, and they need to understand their individual needs. Usually they understand their needs pretty well. And we need to help them also understand that there is the difference between needs and wishes. And they also need to understand the needs of the group and that we are dependent, or better to say interdependent on each other. We are not individuals living next to each other. We are a society, and everyone has gifts to contribute and also responsibility to contribute. We want the children also to help to do big work. So that was also something that Karla and Kyla spoke about. We want the children to do extraordinary things, and we never know what's gonna be. So, for example, lately, just this week, a girl was doing math factors, and she was asking for more and more and more paper to explore more and more math factors. So it was something with which she was exploring her limits and her imagination. How far can she go? We also want to help children develop gratitude. It's something that they really need to get along. And it should be the gratitude for people, for nature and ideas and contributions across time and space. The right answer to how to help children to explore, to imagine, to organize themselves, to engage in big work and challenging work and do the maximum effort and to develop the gratitude is the cosmic education. And cosmic education responds to the developmental characteristics and needs of the 6 to 12 child, who wants to reason, who wants to know how and why. And they want the big picture. So cosmic education is kind of an operational aspect, and it helps the children to become aware of the different kinds of cosmic work carried out by the various agents and of the interdependencies and interrelationships involved, and thereby developing one's own cosmic vision, becoming conscious, active participants ourselves, and thereby participating more fully in the cosmic plan or cosmic organization of work. So we must understand that cosmic education is not only history, biology, and geography, not at all. Cosmic education is everything what we do. It's also language, it's math, it's arts, everything that helps us understand how the universe, the world, and the society function. So when the child realizes that everything is connected in the great cosmic plan, he begins to feel the deep bond which unites him with all of humanity and with the universe. So what we want is to use the materials, the stories, the demonstration, the environment, the going out, to create a bond to what is around us. So when we have the children in the classroom, what do we focus on? I would like to ask you if you could write in the chat, what is your focus when you have children in the classroom, if you have them there, or if you are not in the classroom, but maybe have some children on your own who are in that age? Feel free to write in the chat. What do you want for them? What do you focus on? What do they need to do in the classroom so they can strive? It's a new question. Sometimes we forget to ask ourselves when we teach. It is so much that we have to do. Freedom to express themselves. Bring children to selflessness and understand contribution. Oh, great. Yes. We have it here, what you wrote. So we want the children to explore the laws of all cosmic agents and their work. So cosmic agents, it is actually everything that surrounds us. and we give stories to the children about the different agents. So great agent is, for example, air and water. So you know the story, the God with no hands, the coming of life, also the human timelines, and so on. Follow-up work. Teachers struggling with follow-up work assigned versus experiencing maybe. Ideas would be welcome. We'll come to it. Yeah. So it actually touches our topic, because sometimes we give so much assigned work and follow-up work that the children feel the duty to do what the teacher assigned to them, and they do not explore. But we don't want to make it dry. We don't want to make it a duty. To explore and understand means to have a relationship too. We use the stories, the demonstration, and all that Montessori offers to help children understand the cause, effect, consequences, and relationships. And you need time for it. You cannot rush. And sometimes teachers are insecure in what is important. But for the characteristics and for the needs of the children in this stage of development, it is really important to know that everything is interconnected and that all jobs are important. And why is this actually? It goes back to the cosmic vision. It's important because then the children feel that they are a part of something bigger and that they have the power to change things. They understand the laws, they understand the relationships, and they understand their role in the humanity. Because we also want to show them that everything and everyone is important. So, for example, in the classroom, when you have new children, the first graders at the beginning of the year, and you set the expectation that everyone helps everyone. So sometimes children ask, but what about those new children? How can they help? They have no experiences in our classroom. You can ask the other children, and they just give the answer. Well, they can help clean up because they can do this, even though they have no other experiences with the materials in the classroom. But they themselves come with the idea that everyone can be useful. Everyone has their own place in the classroom. And we also help the children to understand that we humans are here to care, because we have this awareness of interconnection, and we also have the gifts, the brain that can think of great, wonderful things and inventions, the hands that can work for the good of oneself, but also for the group of other people, also for the people who we do not know, for the future generations, just because we have fun of inventing something new and it helps other people. And we also have the heart that loves, and the heart that has the awareness that we are here together. And something that is a challenge for some children and some parents is that things are always changing, especially when you have new teachers in your classroom, in your school, and the children always have to adapt again. But we want the children and the parents understand that we take care for what is going to happen in the classroom and we do our best, and that there is everywhere the balance that is being disrupted and that is being restored again. And what we want for the children is to be adaptable and resilient. So we take it as an advantage. If it has to be, okay, it has to be. The change in teachers is difficult, but we want to make the best out of it. So we want to inspire the children. We want to embrace the changes, embrace all the cosmic agents, embrace the ideas, inventions, and people that work and have worked for us. We want the children to inspire, to feel the deep gratitude for contributions throughout the history, and help them also understand that they have everything they need to make a difference as well. They don't need to have extra superpowers. They have their brains, their hands, and their hearts. And we want the children to encourage to start thinking about their own contribution. Yeah, fulfilling the curriculum. I will come back to it. I think that we really need a vision where we want to go. And maybe you want to give your teachers also a vision. Because we have these characteristics and the needs for 6 years, and then there will be other characteristics and needs. You know that the children go into puberty, they are very different. They are not more oriented on so many studies, so much information taking in, but they are much more oriented on the relationships and where they are in the wider society. So what we want is to use this stage of development so that we help the children to become independent thinkers and use this all, what they have learned, in the next stage of development, in the puberty. So when we wrap it up, I'm sure you have your own ideas where you want your 12-year-olds be. But we can talk about it this way. We want the children understand the laws governing the universe, world, life, and society, and the relationships. When they know what is surrounding them, and they know that they know, then they are sure and ready to step into the next very sensitive phase when they are really searching for themselves in another way. You know that the 12-year-olds are like the social embryos who are growing into the society, but from a new perspective, that they feel that they are not children anymore, but they are not adults yet, and they want to learn how to be adults. So we really want them to be equipped with skills, with understanding, and with knowledge that they can use. And hopefully they also know themselves. They should know their culture and the contribution and their own contribution. What are they good at? What are their friends good at? How to work in a team? How to use the skills of oneself and the skills of other people for the good of the whole team and for their whole class. So we want them to acquire the skills in independent researching, logical and creative thinking, and living and collaborating in and for the organization of peers. They have a very sharp intellect, and now you know that they also have a great sense of moral justice. So they can reflect actions, consequences, goals, and effort spent. And they are able to respond and change course if necessary. By knowing that everything is interconnected and everything is important, and knowing that we should care not only for that we should, but because we want, because we are emotionally connected to the world, then we have, or the children have the feelings of empathy because they appreciate all the work that has been done and they were led to appreciate it. And they feel the gratitude for the great work because we remind children that what we have is not something that we should take for granted. Just 100 years ago, people were living in small houses, sometimes even with their animals. They have no heatings, they had no running water. And it was the work of the predecessors who have been imagining this. And we have what they were dreaming of, just because they were really working hard towards it. And of course, we remind children that it was not history, that there are parts of our planet that people do not have running water until today. And that those people have the same needs and the same wishes and the same dreams as we do. They can reflect on what life is teaching them about life. So they build up self-reflection, what they are creating, what they are and how they are talking to each other, and what is the outcome. How do they contribute or not contribute, and what is the outcome in their society? So they understand and hopefully they know what needs to be done. We all want things, and sometimes maybe you are in the same situation. Sometimes you work so hard that you just want to change your job, do something else, do something much more simple, to close the school, to leave the teacher's job. It's you have had enough. But then you can reflect and you know that it is still worth it, that it brings you joy, it brings you growth, and you know what needs to be done. That until you don't have anything else, that this is the place to be. Hopefully the children have deep interest, and hopefully they are active and contributing, aware of the needs of self and others, making changes if necessary, and also willing to put effort into group projects. So, the difficulties that we encounter. And I can tell you all the schools have difficult times and they face difficulties. So those are just some of them. I am sure that you can reflect on those. So maybe I can answer some of your questions so that we can be concrete and speak directly to what you need to know and what you want to know. So, okay, I will, Marushko, if I skip something, please remind me. I will try to take it from what I see last and going up. So what to do when the charts do not inspire them? I think the important thing is to ask yourself the right questions. So the charts shouldn't, if you as adult don't have fun with the charts, then how should the children have the joy in them? And if you don't like to use the charts, just draw. Draw what is in the charts. That's fine too, as well. The most important thing is you always concentrate on what you want to say. And if you are using the charts, they are impressionistic. So it should arouse, they should arouse emotions. So with the chart, don't just describe what you see. You can do that, but make it a discovery. So look, what do you see there? It looks like there is a factory, you know, that chart with a factory leaf. There is a factory. And it looks, there are some figures, what they are doing. They are sorting some things. So you want to make it little like a theater act, but not exaggerate. You don't want the children to look at you. You want to present the meaning of what you are saying. But when you are presenting and doing anything, there should be always something that the children discover. It might be a really tiny thing, but it's a discovery that you are making together. For going out, if well, you have to see the state requirements. For example, in Czech Republic, I couldn't let an upper elementary child to go with the children because they don't have the legal responsibility for the younger children. And I cannot actually let a parent to go out with them because he is not an employee of our school. He is not legally responsible for the children who want to go out. So I always have to have an assistant. So basically, it would be great to let them go by themselves, but watch the laws, see what's the legal requirements. Some teachers are scared or of not fulfilling with curriculums, and it prevents them letting the kids explore. Right. I had a trouble with this as well until I realized that I have to ask myself what is important. And there are some important things that you really want the children to do and make sure it's up to the standards. And then there are things that you can let them explore. So for me, it was, for example, in math, in Czech Republic, they need to be oriented on the number line, on the 100 square. They have to know the math facts by heart and pretty quick. And those are the things that the parents also check. Because what happens, the children in traditional classrooms, they are doing the drill. So they are usually quick in math facts, no matter, they don't understand the concepts, the relationships. They have sometimes no image in what they do, but they can do the math, the problems, the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division very quick. So you want your children, or I will speak for myself. I want the children to have comparable skills. So we do the drill. But for the first grade, for example, we do this drill in addition and subtraction that is prescribed for the first grade in Czech Republic. and the addition and subtraction is only up to 20. So you do the drill, and then you do the exploration in math. You do the 4 operations using the thousands and millions. You do the fractions. You do the multiplication that is not needed for the state in the first grade at all. And you do the multiples and factors and even the square numbers, whatever you want. The curriculum is pretty wide. But just think about what is important to the state, do that, and let the children explore in what is not needed. Does it answer your question? Sexual education. Well, it's always we talk about human body in 6 to 12, and it's always much easier to talk about it before they go into puberty and they feel kind of stressed by it. And they take it from a scientific view, just describing how things work, and they don't giggle, they just take it as it is. So I don't think it should be approached in any special way, scientifically. Well, yeah. How can we help teachers be more aware of the importance of big work? It's very frequent that we just do materials. And what do you think about the level of exigence we should have in the environment? Sometimes I see teachers confusing the Montessori freedom. Okay, let me let me look for the word exigence so that I answer it correctly. Mhm. Mm, I think it's a matter of trust. And I don't know how many years are the teacher in your classroom and how much experiences they had. Um,
Um, I mean, like, so, well, we have different teachers with different years of experience in the classroom. But I see they struggle to, I don't know the word, probably I'm missing the right word for this, but it's like uh, the kind of works kids do sometimes are probably too simple for what they can do, you know? And I guess sometimes I feel it's right because, well, sometimes, you have days, but at the same time, as they are growing, the responsibility gets higher. They have like more demanding materials or levels of research. And um, we were seeing, I guess, like, for example, kids of the second year of elementary, kids of 7 years doing, I don't know, circles, squares, and triangles with not real purpose behind that. So we were trying to make the teachers like go with the kids and be more demanding in what they should do, but trying to address them in a way that they could actually be curious about what is going on around them. And it's a big struggle because sometimes they have like these two sides of face. Like sometimes they are like too stressed out with the curriculum, like, okay, the presentations, I'm gonna present these materials and we have to do this. And at the same time, they let them do things that they could be more deep. I don't know if that's like the right word, in what they could learn and get from their environment. And I see it's a constant struggle because my perception is that when we have these calm times and we go to conferences and we have time to read, we all get super inspired. But then when we are actually in the task, like we let ourselves run by the urgencies, the priorities, the demands of the national curriculum, and it feels like we kind of disconnect with the method, with the system, with Montessori itself. So I feel it's very important for me as an administrator to be able to help my teachers to don't to stay connected with what's really important.
So I would say it takes to make plans, and we have long-term plans. So it's our imagination, our vision for the children where we would like to have them after that year. And it usually surpasses the state requirements by at least half a year or a year. And we ask the children to do the maximum effort, but it's right that it requires the maximum effort also from the teachers. So I remind my teachers that Montessori recommends that we during the 6 to 12 years that we want to do actually 8 grades, because the thought is that when the children at 12 are changing, they go into puberty, then they need something different than the really demanding studies. So we really need to understand the things from the first grade until the 8th grade. So that's kind of gives them a little vision, a little push to my teachers. And what we do weekly conferences where we make plans. And I set expectations from the teachers, and also I am in the classroom, so I'm checking on them how they do, and support them in doing more, pushing themselves and the children a little bit more. So, and Peter Davidson, he was the director for in Montessori Redlands for many years, and he really suggests if you're an administrator, just go every day in every classroom and just check in how they are doing, if that's enough, and tell them that you appreciate their work or that you expect a little bit more, that what you have seen is great, and maybe you could do this or that. If you have the training, it's easier because then you can kind of guide them. If you don't have the training, maybe you can have someone with the training to talk to them. Because we also say to the children that we expect from them that they don't do the busy work in the classroom. So sometimes I just come, so is this the work that is the right level, or is this too easy? And the children say, well, yeah, this is too easy. I could do something more challenging. So it's the expectation that you're coming in the classroom. And I think it's also very nice if the children, if the teachers understand that the children have the great potential to take everything in. And if we do not use it, then we lose the time and we lose the possibilities for the children to learn those things and to understand those things. And it's also important that the teachers have fun. And actually, I'm taking the presentations and I'm having fun with the children, discovering the circle and its parts and using the compass for the 20th time. But it's always the eyes of the children who are like, yeah, it's great. So if we can help the children to have fun in those things, it also gives them a push. And relaxation in letting the children explore instead of doing the drill, even if using the materials, because we can still do the drill using the materials, thinking that we do Montessori, but it's not Montessori. So drill is fine in math facts, but the basic thing is to explore and to understand. Montessori freedom, just set expectations. And and then what I do is like, what? It didn't happen? But we agreed that you will do something more challenging, right? And you don't do it? So just with the children, I can kind of be more dramatic. And we kind of have fun of it because we both know that the child doesn't do what I expected. And it's a nice reminder of, I expect more. So they know that I'm fun right now, but if I have to come more times, it won't be fun anymore. That I will be more strict and more clear in the expectations. And just saying, maybe you want to pack it and I will help you to find something more challenging. But we can't, but we have to observe carefully because sometimes it might be the exploration. Like, for example, with this girl who was exploring the factors this week. She was just coming for more and more papers for the forms, wanting to do more and more. And I was thinking it's kind of too easy, but she had such a fun and it was really new to her. So she was really exploring. And she knew her division facts, so it wasn't that difficult for her. But it was something that she explored what numbers are divisible by what and what numbers are divisible only by themselves or the one. And she didn't know that before. Sometimes they don't want to work on a group project because they want to keep the chart or the model that they made. They don't want to share. They prefer to do their own work. Well, sometimes we let the children work by themselves. That's fine. If it's something they do all the time, I would help them understand that sharing is more than keeping things for themselves. But, for some children to understand this, it really takes time. Should there be a difference in the way we present charts and timelines to upper elementary since they had seen these charts in lower elementary? You always put something more complex into the charts. A new challenge, a new difficulty, new questions, deeper questions. So yes, you advance in those materials. Yeah, expectations are important. Yeah. Just okay. Let's go to the next slide. So when you have difficulties in implementing the cosmic education, just I think the colorful questions are important. We need to ask the right questions. So you have some examples. The question is, do we observe and do we reflect? it's really worth it to sit down for 10 minutes and see things and share them with your assistant and let the assistant sit and then talk about what you both have seen, because you will see many things, interesting things, and you will see also how the classroom works. And just ask yourself what is important. That's the biggest question. What is important right now? So if, for example, your classroom, we are striving for the order, for the beauty, for the unity, for harmony, right? In the classroom. So when there is no order and the children do just busy work and they are not really working, then just assign them the work and set expectations. I expect you to be working hard. So this is what I expect. I'm giving you, and you can give them choices. I'm giving you 2 projects, and these are the 2 choices, 2 topics that you can do. And I expect you to be finished by Friday, and I expect you to use the resources, the books. You have to be sure they have the skills to do it, right? So it's fair. But just tell them what you expect. If you never told them what you expect, how should they know? And we repeatedly talk about it with the children, why we are here in the school. We are coming every day so that we learn something, that we help each other, that we grow together, that we share our skills, our knowledge, our experiences. We are here to make a functioning community. And if you ask children, they will tell you a lot. So you can do you can do little conversations, as I said previously. You can just sit down with a child in the morning before the rest comes, before you start, and just ask them what's important for you or to you. What's important to you? And some children tell you, well, the friends, or they say that I learned something new. So if you have those teachers who just keep the children busy, then this is a nice reminder from the children themselves. Like, I'm here to learn. I want to know something new. I want to discover things. And just a nice reminder. We are in this together. I'm in Montessori 20 years and I'm still learning every day something from my colleagues, from the children. And what's important is to observe, to ask questions and discuss and even try new things. When something doesn't work for you, then just try something different. And also try to plan and just make a realistic plan. What we usually do, we set 2-3 goals for a year, and topics where we would like to grow as a classroom or as a school. And for example, 1 year it might be to have more functioning, better functioning social relationships. So this is what we focus on that year. And then we just go into Montessori texts we ask specialists, we go to webinars, we go to Montessori conferences, and we just look for information how we could improve that one goal, that one thing that we want to work on that year. We like to visit also other teachers in other in other schools when possible, or have someone come in. And also it's nice to have someone to call when you are in trouble, or when you just have ideas and want to confirm if you're right or if you are completely out of your mind. Someone who has experiences. And things take time. So don't push yourself into burnout. It doesn't make sense. Just do what you can. Change what you feel that you are ready for. Don't push everything. Just change one thing after another. Bring small changes and observe what is the most important thing that you want to change right now. And also remember that little things make the difference. And try to, when something goes wrong, yeah, things go wrong. That's fine. It's a process of growth, and we Montessori people have this. Well, Montessori, she has such a vision. She was such a wise person, and we have this thing, this high expectation thing that we should know how to make it all work, right? Well, just remind yourself that we are really changing a paradigm in the society for how to educate children. We are still pioneers in what to do for the children. And it requires also looking at ourselves and seeing our attitudes, our limits, our preconceived ideas, and work with those. So you are not working only for the children in your classroom, but you are changing with them. And it's actually a very nice path, very nice journey, life journey. It's a life journey. So take it as a journey, and you will see, you will go far or less far or very far. It doesn't matter. Just keep growing and try to have fun with your colleagues and with your children, and appreciate what you have learned. And the secret, because in 2 minutes we should end. The secret of good teaching that Montessori told us is to regard the child's intelligence as a fertile field in which seeds may sow to grow under the heat of imagination. Our aim, therefore, is not merely to make the child understand, and still less to force him memorize, but so to touch his imagination as to enthuse him to his inmost core. So, emotions, enthusiasm, connections, that's what is important. So, Marushko, are there any unanswered questions that are burning?
I think you answered all the questions in chat. If not, please write them again. But I think you answered everything.
Okay. There is the website of our school, and on the website there is my email address. So if you have any questions or just want to chat, then write me an email. And thank you very much for your attention. And I hope for the best for you. keep going. Take care for yourself as well, not only the children and your colleagues and your staff, but for yourself as well. And if you want, thank you. If you want, you can unmute and say goodbye in your language. And Marushka put the link to the Zoom so you can return to the main conference room to find out about your certificates and the book.
Oshe Odabo.
Hasta luego.
That means thank you, goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Muchas gracias. Hasta luego.
Bye bye.
La rivedere. Mulțumim. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ευχαριστώ. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.